Have you ever looked at your bank statement and wondered, why am I paying hundreds of dollars every single month just to run my real estate business? It starts innocent. You sign up for a CRM, and then you need an email platform, then a landing page builder, and then Calendly, and then Zapier, because nothing talks to each other, and then a texting platform. And before you know it, you're spending $300, $400, sometimes even $500 every single month just to keep your business running. And here's the crazy part, half of those tools barely get used. You're paying for features that you don't even remember signing up for, that you don't care about. And I know this because I was doing the exact same thing. I had software everywhere. One company handled my CRM, another company handled my marketing, and another one handled my website, another handled scheduling, another one handled automation. And every month my subscription kept growing. And not only was it getting expensive, but nothing actually worked together or talked to each other. A simple update would break a zap, contacts wouldn't sync, leads would just disappear, and automations would fail. And instead of saving time, I was spending more time trying to figure out why everything wasn't working than actually serving my clients. And that's when I decided enough was enough. I wanted one system and one login, one database, one place where everything lives. So I moved everything over to GoHighLevel. And today I'm going to show you the 5 software subscriptions that I completely replaced, how much money I'm saving, and whether I think making the switch is actually worth it, because I've been using it for years. And honestly, GoHighLevel isn't perfect. There are some people who absolutely should switch and some people who probably shouldn't. So let's get into it. Number 1 is Follow Up Boss. If you're a realtor, you've obviously heard of Follow Up Boss. It's one of the most popular CRMs in the industry, and for good reason. It's clean, it's easy to use. It does a great job managing contacts and helps organize pipelines, track conversations, assign tasks, and follow up with leads. I used it for years when we were Zillow agents, and that's the software that we would use even before they were combined. And what I really liked about Follow Up Boss was that it would continue to nurture and reach out to my clients even when I was busy or out showing with everyone else. But Follow Up Boss can be very expensive, and it still doesn't do everything you need it to do, because I do a lot of business on social media. So one of my favorite things is when someone comments on one of my videos, I'm able to set up an automation where my CRM is actually talking to the people on Instagram, because it's all connected, and it'll update their information, they opt in, and then I can continue to have a conversation afterwards without being online 24/7, without being on my phone for 24/7. So now all of my contacts live in the same place. Everything comes into one hub. It's genuinely like a funnel. Everything comes in through the top, and it all just organizes it in such a way that makes my life easier. And then when someone gives me their email, it just automatically updates. I don't have to manually put it in, because when you're getting a ton of leads at one time, it's really hard to manage and stop and remember. And it's like, oh my gosh, all I have to do is copy and paste into my notes section anything that we talked about, or now it records our conversations. And so I always tell a lot of people, if they feel uncomfortable with that, I have to record my conversations just because I'm out driving and I'm talking to so many people, and it just helps me stay organized. But we can always turn that off at any time. But paying for multiple marketing tools on top of Follow Up Boss can be very expensive. And although it's a great platform, it just doesn't do enough. Now, number 2 is Mailchimp. Let's talk about email marketing. For years, Mailchimp was pretty much the default recommendation. If you needed a newsletter, you wanted to use Mailchimp. You needed drip campaigns, Mailchimp. You need email automations, that was a software that you would use. And there's really nothing wrong with it. I like it. But then here's what happens. You collect leads in your CRM, they sign up for your newsletter, and then you sync those. You have to build an email campaign, someone replies, now you have to go back into your CRM, and you're switching back and forth with all the tabs that you already have open, and then go back to Mailchimp. And it's like playing ping pong all day long, back and forth, back and forth. Instead, with GoHighLevel, my CRM already knows who my contacts are. It's going to organize it for me. I don't have to export spreadsheets. I don't need integrations. I don't have duplicate contacts living in multiple systems, and everything happens in one place. When someone downloads my home buyer guide, the automation starts immediately, and it kicks off day 1. They receive the welcome email, and then they get a drip campaign You can add text in there, and if they click on something, then that triggers another automation in a different way. But you can also have it set up to stop when someone responds. So I really appreciate that I can actually see the entire customer journey, not just when someone opens an email, but on the right side, it shows you everything when they became a lead, when they replied, and when they booked, or if they haven't booked, when they closed. And then I send out anniversary cards even after closing. So it's not just about sending emails, it's about moving people through your entire sales process, and everything lives inside of the same platform. So you stop managing software and start managing relationships. All right, so let's talk about number 3. This one is my favorite one because it is the calendar. I used to have Calendly. I had to sync it and zap and do all this crazy stuff. And when you zap so many things, you're at risk of things expiring and having to reset that up. And so you're out in the middle of showing property, and then someone needs to book your calendar, and then your Zap suddenly stops working, so it doesn't sync up. It's super frustrating. My calendar isn't just a calendar, it's connected to everything else. And when someone books a buyer consultation, they immediately get confirmation emails, and they get reminder emails, confirmation texts. And if they need to reschedule, they can do it themselves. They just go in there and click on it. No extra fees. You can also set up nurture campaigns if you want to continue to, reach out to that person from their appointment. There's just so many things that you can do that is customized and automized in GoHighLevel. So when I'm preparing for a consultation, I'm not just guessing who this person is. I can pull it up and I can see everything, the way that they've interacted with my business. And that's something that you don't really appreciate until you actually have experienced it. And the fourth thing that has been replaced with my CRM now is ClickFunnels, because let's talk about landing pages and funnels. For years, ClickFunnels has been one of the biggest names in online marketing. If you've ever downloaded a free guide, signed up for a webinar, or opted into a lead magnet, there's a good chance that it was built with ClickFunnels, and it's a powerful platform. You can build landing pages, sales funnels, checkout pages, membership areas. For me, I have a home buyer course that people can sign up for and actually watch the videos, which is really nice in there. So when someone fills out a form, it just sends them directly into my CRM, sends triggers and automations to send emails for maybe a different property. But it's just this giant software of all these things that are intertwined, like a web of all these different things. Like my home valuation tools, there's a separate automation for that, relocation guides, buyer lead magnets, seller funnels, open house registration pages, even my booking pages are all connected directly to my CRM, which means when someone submits a form, they're immediately added to the right pipeline and they receive the correct follow-up sequence. They're assigned the proper tags, notifications are sent, and tasks are created for my team or my VA. There's no extra software that's required. And so it's a very organized way to handle your entire business, not just leads, but from before they sign a contract to well after and years later down the line. But also don't feel like you have to cancel ClickFunnels or not be able to use it, because you can actually directly import your current landing pages if you are using ClickFunnels, which is really cool. I think I'm going to be doing an entire series on this because I feel like it's just not enough to cover in just one video about all the things that it can replace into one. And get this, it's only $80 for the month. If you pay for the entire year, it's $80 a month, which is, pretty much less than what Follow Boss costs right now. And if you don't pay for the whole year, then it's $99, but I highly recommend that you pay for the whole year because it's just a much better value. Now, number 5 is Zapier. This one might surprise you because I actually love Zapier. It's an incredible tool. If you've never used it, think of Zapier like a digital duct tape. It connects all the different softwares that normally don't communicate with each other. And then when that happens, it speaks directly to all your different platforms like email, social media, all these different things. So they work together in that way, but you're paying for one tool and then paying another company just to make the first tool talk to the second one. And it's like hiring a translator because your own employees don't speak the same language. So those different softwares. So I had Zaps running everywhere. New Facebook leads, send it here, new email subscriber, bring them over here, appointment booked, bring them over here from Calendly, everything depending on dozens of little automations all over the place. And if it broke, sometimes I didn't even know until days later. So imagine discovering that you lost leads for an entire weekend because one automation failed because you were relying on it. That's expensive. That's more expensive than just paying for GoHighLevel. And most of these automations happen natively. So here there's a form that triggers a workflow sends an email, that email triggered sends a text, the text creates a task. So it's just really running on autopilot behind the scenes. It's like having your own assistant inside the same ecosystem. So I still use Zapier on some things for like my website. And if I'm connecting GoHighLevel to a platform outside of the ecosystem, but it pretty much has everything. It does have a website. I use a luxury presence for my website because I love how robust it is. It has AI in it. I'm sure there are companies that can, because you can build a website within the GoHighLevel platform. I'm sure there are plenty of companies that can build you a website that is going to live inside of the same ecosystem, but that I just wanted a more robust one because luxury presence, like it sends me reminders, it communicates with my inbox to help me follow up with people. So if you're interested in that, I can offer you $1,000 towards your website build out. So feel free to shoot me a message or send me an email and I'll get that set up for you and introduce you to the rep over there that will help with that. But what I really wish someone had told me years ago is that the biggest expense isn't actually your monthly subscriptions. It's context switching. Think about your average workday. You check your CRM, you jump to your email, your software, then your calendar. It's so distracting, your website, then your automation software, then your texting platform, then your forms, and then reporting dashboard. And every time you switch applications, your brain has to stop, reorient itself, figure out where you left off and remember what you were doing, which tab it's in, and try to accomplish all of that. And those little interruptions, they don't seem like much, but over doing it hundreds of times a week, they add up. You waste the mental energy, the strength, you lose focus, you become slower. And when everything lives inside one platform, your day actually feels calmer. You're not hunting for information. You're not wondering which software has the answer. Everything is right there. You're not driving, trying to fumble through your phone and fumble through traffic and risk getting into an accident because you're trying to update or remember or figure out where this lead came in so you can figure out what they said and what they wanted. But really at the end of the day, it's the money that you're saving because it's, like I said, $80 a month instead of hundreds of dollars for multiple different softwares. Oh, yes, I'm going to be doing another video because I'm not even at reputation management yet, which is an extra $40 to $50 a month just to get reviews. Anyway, all that to say, this is what I actually use and I've been using it for years, and I'm very picky when it comes to software because I need things to work the way it's supposed to work and not the way that it's advertised to work. And I need to be able to as a solo agent, be able to continually reach out and nurture these people and let them feel that they're important and not just another number. And that's what that automation helps me to do. So if you want to do the free 30-day bootcamp, you should do it because they're going to help you. You even go out into these breakout rooms where they help you set it all up so that you're not doing it by yourself. Because one of the biggest things is that people cannot figure it out. And so they end up not using it or canceling it. And then they end up not liking it. I have friends that do this all the time. It's like, you got to sit down and figure it out instead of getting overwhelmed, and do it one time. And then for the rest of the time it works. It's like, you got to set up the foundation, but then it's going to save you so much time and energy and effort for the future. So build a platform that doesn't make you feel crazy, and that's a lot more organized, and do that 30-day link in the below. So before you sign up though, I want to tell you who this is not for, because I don't think every agent needs to be on GoHighLevel. If you're brand new and you don't have a database, you obviously don't have consistent leads or lead generation. This is for people who get a ton of leads per month. They're doing social media, they're doing YouTube. I get a lot of leads and closings from YouTube. So if you're not doing that at a high level, it's probably not going to be worth your time or money. Or if you are a relationship agent where you enjoy doing the one-on-one, talking to people, meeting people, like going out into the grocery store and finding clients that way and doing referrals, you're probably not going to need it, because the people that you're going to work with, there's a higher intent. So there's not as much nurture and things like that. Whereas I get leads all day long off of social media. So I need to only want to work with people that are serious. So that helps me free up my time to know who's actually serious about making the move and trying to get them to work with me. Those are all of my automations. So new agents, relationship and SOI agents, and someone who's really not doing as many deals. Maybe it's more of a hobby. Maybe it's just a part-time thing. Maybe you just have your license for referrals. You could just do it in a simple spreadsheet. But this is for high level, think big funnel, where you're getting a ton of leads and you need to be able to organize those automations to kind of lure and pull out the people that are serious about doing business with you. So anyway, again, 30-day free trial in the link below. Get that bootcamp set up so that you can hit the ground running.